In this section, let's go ahead and learn about labels and selectors with Kubernetes. So you've seen that, you've seen that, for example, in this deployment right here, we have this template and then metadata and then labels, right? Labels in here. And then we have match labels. So I'm going to cover this in a second, but I've explained briefly what this does. But because now we have a full understanding of pods, services, deployments, replica sets, this will make sense immediately. So basically, let's cover labels first. So you can see that we have metadata, labels app, customer, right? So labels are a key value pair that we can attach to objects such as pods, services, replica sets, and other Kubernetes objects. So they are used for us to organize and select objects. We can select objects by labels, and we can also organize every single object that we have within our cluster, right? And the way that they are really useful is to tie, for example, in this case, deployment. So here, so we match a replica set to a pod, for example, right? So here you can see that. So this is saying, so metadata labels app. So any pod right here will have app and then customer. And then this selector is saying, so the replica set will manage anything that has this label right here, app and then custom. I'm going to touch more on selectors in a second. But for example, if I go to my terminal and if I type kubectl get pods dash dash show dash and then labels and then enter, now have a look. So here you can see that we have, so let's focus on these two first, right? So these two, we have the labels on this side, and basically have a look, app and then equals label. So this is the key, this is the value, key and then value. So this pod, or actually these two pods, are managed by the replica set, which is also managed by a deployment, and this is what we specified in here. So any pod, right, has the label app and then customer. Now we can take this further and add another label, for example, environment. So this is another label that you should have. So whether this is the test environment, production environment, QA environment, so on and so forth. So let's say that this is the test environment in here, and we can also add another label, and the tier, we can say tier, and the tier for this is let's say this is backend, for example. There we go. So this is backend, and we can say department as well. So department, and let's say that this is engineering. There we go. So now we have 4 labels. So let me just save this, and in here, let me open up my terminal, and then let's go ahead and say kubectl apply -f, and then this is the customer deployment. So customer, or actually, what did I, inside YAMLs. So YAMLs, and then this is the customer and then deployment. There we go. You can see that. So the app was configured. Now, if I clear the screen and let's show labels again. So get pods and then show labels. Now have a look. So we have more labels, right? So customer and then the pod. And then in here we have, so let's have a look. So basically these are the old ones, right? So let's focus on these ones which have 8 and 10 seconds. So have a look. So we have app, customer, department, engineering, environment, test, so on and so forth. So this is nice, right? So now we are starting to organize our Kubernetes cluster with labels. So this is really crucial.